What up? It's the present legend, Thick Nick, all about this Christmas. You feel me? And you might know me as Big Wig LTD. You might know me as Smoke Screezy. You might know me as Josh. You might know me as a whole lot of stuff, But one thing I ain't never been as broke. You feel me?
Hey,
no, but
holla.
but we sitting here, just cashing up. So I like to hang out with my homies if I can. So
Yes.
got the homie Rick sliding today. Bonita Loca herself from the Crazy Beautiful podcast. You know what I mean?
What's up?
How you doing? What's good with you?
I'm doing good. This has been a long time coming, to be honest.
I know.
So I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm happy you're here too.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So, what's new? What's going on with you?
This year's been a whirlwind, dude.
Yeah.
It's been a good one.
Yeah.
Actually, I plan to do a reflection and look back at everything this year because I think it's easy to just oh, I'm fine. Everything's, chipper and good, which thank the Lord it is. But there's been a lot of shit going on. So it's been a good one.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the stuff that's been going on in your life. We don't got to talk about the world,
Yeah.
But so what's some of the whirlwind, if you don't mind, give us some details.
Yeah.
What's the whirlwind been?
I think a lot of lessons, with relationships, every kind, friendships, family, romantic, whatever it may be. So a lot of lessons this year. I felt like that's how 2022 was as well.
Yeah.
But in this year, it's been really nice because I'm seeing, I'm flourishing, That's how I feel. Okay, I was picked apart. 2022 was supposed to be my golden year because 2-2, right? But no, it was something else. And then this year, I'm starting to see, the flowers grow from everything that was planted.
Yeah, and what's crazy is that what I think is when you kind of get on your shit and you're really dedicated, it's crazy how fast those flowers will grow and blossom. Just being changing your mindset and being I'm really doing this now. I ain't fucking around no more.
You're done talking about it and actually doing it. So I think that's what a lot of this year has been.
Nice.
I've been able to get a lot of shit done. I've been really looking internally and focusing on myself. And I think that's one of the biggest things, when you are trying to get shit done,
Definitely.
Can't be out here spending wasted time, on things, people, whatever it may be. So
yeah, just if your goals don't align with the people you're with, you kind of gotta be peace, bro. I love you, but
yeah,
I gotta go, man. You
sometimes
know what I mean?
I think that happens internally too, where if your thoughts don't match your thoughts, actions, and words, they all have to be aligned.
Right.
So you can be thinking about doing something, but then you're saying another, and you sure as hell ain't doing either one. So that's a big one too. And I've been trying to focus on ensuring that I'm aligned.
Nice. And I think you've been doing that. So I just want proud of you for all you've achieved this year. You know what I'm saying?
Sweet.
So tell me you got certified or whatever. Tell me about that.
So my biggest accomplishment this year, something I'm very proud of, I finally got certified to instruct yoga. So I've been practicing yoga for over a decade now.
Let's go. Always say a decade. Don't say 10 years. Say a decade.
No, over. Okay.
Over a decade.
Over a
Let's
decade
go.
now. That's what's wild to me.
Decade plus.
Yes. But I finally decided I've been knowing this is my passion. That's what I want to do. But I just pulled the trigger. I saw an ad for the teacher training, and I was like, oh, maybe so. It was actually my hairstylist. Shout out, Jessica.
Shout out.
And she told me, she was like, hey, check this out. It's not exactly the type of yoga that you want to do, but you could still get certified. And that was a big thing for me too, is actually finding somewhere in town that I could get certified with the type of yoga, which is one of the reasons why I hadn't gone for it. But anyway, so I was like, hell yeah. And I just decided to do it. And that was 4 or 5 months in the beginning of the year.
Right.
So I was locked in, focused, and it was really good.
Hell yeah. So what's made you what made you interested in yoga in the first place? What was there what was it that got you into it?
This is a good story. So my mom, my best friend,
nice.
She actually found a hot yoga class in town, and she started going. And she just asked me, she's like, you want to go with me? I was 15 at the time. And I'm like, okay. I'm like going to school, I'm playing sports. And we're like, well, the only time that we can go together is at 5 a.m. So we did. And we did it for like probably like a year or two where we would just go, you know, a couple days out of the week.
Hot yoga? Mm-hmm. So it's like hot in the room. Mm-hmm. Like what's the temperature?
So the temperature is like anywhere from like, it could be like 85, 95, 100. I think the hottest class we ever did was like 105. But if it's not like just the heat, there's also like the climate. So like they'll raise the, what is it?
Temperature?
No, not the temperature.
The
humidity level. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So maybe it's not that hot. I'm actually thinking 105 is a lot. So it's probably more of the humidity, but it's around like 80s and 90s.
And you're fucking sweating.
Yeah.
Because yoga ain't no joke.
No. I mean, if you just do like a regular, like you could just YouTube like beginner's yoga 10-minute class and like just try it. For those of y'all who haven't done yoga before, you can be like, oh, it's cake. And like, it's not. Like, I've been doing this forever and I'm still like, what the fuck sometimes when I'm trying to get in or out of a pose.
So where would you say you're at? Are you like a master at, and then you said there's different kinds of yoga.
Yeah, exactly. So I teach vinyasa, which is like a flow yoga. But I mean, yeah, there's definitely like levels, I guess, of, you know, maybe like the thing is yoga is not about like how flexible you are. That's like the first thing everybody says, you know, like, oh, I can't do yoga because I'm not flexible. And it's like, it's not that. Like yoga is mind, body, soul, you know, like you're really connecting the three and being able to like look within and then, yeah, it's a moving meditation in my head. So yeah, that's some people are more flexible than others. Some people might have more like endurance. I think that's where I thrive is my endurance. Like when I'm focused, I'm locked in, I can stay in a posture for a good amount of time.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's fire. So you said you do flow yoga. Mm-hmm. So what is that? How does that like differ from other types? Like, I don't know nothing.
So the hot yoga that I've practiced, which is like commonly known as Bikram, it's 26 postures, 90-minute class. You do them all twice. There's a standing series and a floor series. So you're going like, you're standing in a posture or you're in a posture for like probably around 30 seconds to like a minute. You get out of it and you're just like, you're either in Savasana, which is laying down like dead body pose, or you're just standing in like mountain pose. And then you flow into, or you just go into your next posture. So with vinyasa, you're flowing from one posture to another. You're not like going into one and then coming out of it and like catching your breath. You're just going into the next. So vinyasa was super hard for me when I first tried it. I hated it, in fact. I was like, this is not for me. Take me to the hot class right now. But I'm so happy that I got my training in vinyasa just because it completely opened me up to like literally a whole new world.
A whole new world.
Yeah, you knew where I was going with that one.
Yep.
But yeah, so you know, instead of being like, oh, this is the only thing I want to do. So now I'm just like intrigued. I want to try all kinds of different, like, I'm going to just continue to get certified. Certified freak, baby.
Do you have like an ultimate goal or like an ultimate level that you want to get to with your yoga practice?
Yeah, I am working on my flexibility. So I would like to do like lean more into that and like probably like a lot of strength training, like balancing posture, stuff like that. You do need a ton of like muscle for that. But for me, my ultimate goal is really just to like travel, teach, practice, learn, open a studio.
Write books.
So there you go. Yeah, exactly.
All that entrepreneur.
Whenever I feel like I'm just not going to make it, I'm like, wait, I got this fucking novel I've been working on forever.
Nice.
But
a little novella or what?
Oh, yeah. It's some poetry.
Oh, okay.
I like to write a little bit too.
Okay, shit. So how long have you been working on that?
Oh, it's
is it like a lifelong thing? Like,
yeah, like I make sure that I stay focused on my journaling because like it's always good to look back. That's another thing too. You know, I've done that a lot this year where I'm like, where was I a year ago, or how was I feeling about this situation? And it really is nice when I can go back and be like, wow, like I was not happy then. Look where I'm at now. You know what I mean? Right. But no, if I were ever to actually have something published, it would be like pretty raw of whatever my emotions are, whatever my feels were, like in my diary per se. But I would go in there and chop, edit, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Right. So when you journal, do you just like, is it just like a diary type format, or does it like vary? Do you do like poems too, or like?
So I have notes in my phone that I go to because we always have our phone with us. That one I would say are like quick entries. My actual journals that I have, like, yes, I'm like, dear diary, today is. No, I like to start like, dear Rikka, or sometimes I write to people and I'm like, dear, insert name here.
Right.
Like if I'm really trying to get something on my chest and it's just not a conversation that I'm going to have with somebody, So.
But that does help. I've actually experienced that where I'm like,
yeah.
I fucking hate you. Let me write it down. I feel better.
It really does.
I'm not going to send it to you.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Please don't send these things out. Like, no, that's not the way.
But yeah, I remember doing that shit and like feeling oddly relieved. I was like, I feel way better now that I like got that out on like a page or 5. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, so you say journaling is critical.
Yeah,
It's like
I think
crucial.
it is. I mean, you really just get it all out there.
Right.
Even like when I'm pissed off and I don't want to journal, I don't. There's a lot of times that I do not. And I'm just like, I know if I would have like sat there, that would have been some good shit, Because like even when I look back and I read something, I'm like, damn, that was painful, but that was really well written. Like, so for me, for sure. Like that's one of the things that when I fall off from doing it, like I know I'm missing out, Like you start feeling so good because you're doing all of these good things. And then you're like, oh, I feel good. So I don't need to meditate. I don't need a journal. I don't need to stretch. Like I've been feeling great lately. But it's like, oh, because you've been consistent,
Yeah, totally. So. Yeah, like I've been working out this week for like 5 days and I feel a huge difference. Yeah. Just in like a lot, like just in my body, I'm just like, yo. I've been missing this shit. You know?
Like it really does make that difference, that 10, 15 minutes, whatever it may be.
Bro, I try to preach that where it's like, if you want to get good at something, try to do it every day. Yeah. Even if it's for 10, 15 minutes, 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
It's so true.
Even if you like just go to do it and you like don't necessarily get anything done.
Yeah.
But you're there, you showed up.
Yeah.
And it's like you had to dip out.
Showing up. That's so important.
Straight up. So when you journal, is there like a specific time of day you always get it, or does it like vary?
No, it's just so random.
Right.
I don't even know. So like I wish I have so many notebooks, dude. I wish I was consistent, but I will just like grab a random ass notebook. My purse is a disaster right now. You don't want to see that. But I found a paper in there the other day. I had ripped a piece of paper from work. I remember I was about to flip out at my 9 to 5. And I'm like, just writing all these affirmations. And like, I found it in my purse the other day. And I'm like, oh, this is cute. Like, so it's
Nice.
very random.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you do affirmations too?
Yeah. So I have an affirmation app. And
oh, shit.
Yeah, like that really is the best. I get a new affirmation about every hour.
That's fire.
Somebody told me I was crazy for that.
Yeah.
They're like, damn, you need one every hour? I'm like, bitch, we are moving. Like, yes, I need a new one.
Affirmation fucking addicts over here.
Yeah, I'm like every fucking hour. But I tried affirmations for years. And I would say probably over the past year, they've stuck. Like,
really?
Yeah.
Has there been a difference in like the way you practice them or anything like that? Or
yeah. So I remember I downloaded an affirmation app. This was probably a few years ago that I did. And it was cool. Like, I liked it. I'm like, it was resonating, but it wasn't anything, like, it didn't stand out to me. Like, it was, like, making any crazy differences,
Right.
And so that was that. I don't know. I got a new phone or something. Never ended up downloading it again. But so I would say this last app I've had, I don't know, maybe, like, since some point in 2022. And like I remember just like getting pissed off, like this shit isn't working, and like, so I really put in the work myself. You can't just like read it once and be like, okay, I feel better. That's not how it works. Like you really do need to like read it. So what I try to do is I read it and then I like say it out loud. I say it in my head and then I'll just repeat it like a few times over. Right. And when they, like, especially when they resonate, which usually they do because the universe is always trying to help you out, Right. It's like, fuck, okay, cool. And, like, you can't help but laugh at yourself when you do this. It feels silly, Right. You're out here just like, okay, like, You know,
Hit me with the affirmation. What was one today?
So one that I saw today was like, everything's always working out for me. I know the universe is in my favor, like something like that. And so I'm just like, and today, like nothing was going accordingly. I've been rushing all day, which is something else
Right.
I'm working on. But I was just like, oh my gosh, just irritated, you know? And I'm like, okay, like it's going to work out. Like everything works in my favor. Right. Everything that's happening is meant for me. Everything that's meant for me will happen. So.
Nice. I like that. Like that little switcheroo on the words there. That's fire. Yeah. That's what's up. I didn't know that about you. That's fire. I like that. I never really got into affirmations. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm more of like I'm just winging it. But like I've been getting better. I've been getting better. I just been getting better at like my mental health, my anger issues, my fucking just like action and executing. You know what I'm saying? I think everyone has their own like style, how they live and
most
shit.
Definitely. I would think if you are trying to work on just like, you know, thinking better about yourself, your self-esteem, whatever it may be, I would definitely say try the affirmations, and you have to put in the work, you know. But yeah, you are someone I've always admired for executing an idea that you have. So kudos to you for that.
Appreciate it. Shucks.
But for real, yeah, I love seeing your ideas come to life.
It's dope. It really helps with like the depression. When you fucking your sister actually posted something today on Facebook or something. She was like, all this cool ass shit about like you're depressed. Go fucking clean. Go do some like, art.
Yeah,
go
literally
do this,
the things you can do when you're starting to feel down and stuff. Cleaning is a huge one.
Dude, I was cleaning like a motherfucker today, dog. But like, I was like, I need to work out. I was like, handling fucking business, blah, blah, blah. Then I was cleaning. Still didn't work out. But then I was done cleaning. I was able to work out in a clean space. It was dope.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, the space you have around you, it's so essential to
straight up
your external, you know, your well-being there. Just because, bro, if I got a messy ass room, messy ass house, messy kitchen, like I'm not cooking in that bitch. Like I don't want to be in my house. I'm gonna leave, you know. So I always try to clean up like before I leave. So helping out my future self, knowing that I'll feel good when I get home, you know, not leaving that shit for later. But,
and it's always cool coming home to like a clean bed and all that shit. Like your bed's made, you're fucking, oh shit, like, or even just like waking up, like, oh shit, the kitchen's clean as fuck.
Yeah,
I love that shit.
Yeah, but you know, if you're feeling scatterbrain and cannot get shit together in your head, like try to look around you and see like what's my physical space like, because that's gonna reflect a lot into the mental, you know.
Right.
So. Clean, you dirty ass house.
So let's see. Oh, dude. So, bro, you got to go to like the motherland and shit.
I did.
So fucking tell me about that. Tell me about like the flight. Like, what made you guys do it? Like, tell me about that shit.
So, 100% Salvadorian right here. Woo woo.
Salvi, y'all crazy.
my family though, they like left and kind of like. They just didn't really plan to go back. So I had never been to El Salvador before. And this year my sister and I, we were just like, dude, we need to go at some point. What the hell? And, you know, the time was just right. And we told my dad, we're like, regardless whether you're coming or not, like, we're going. So that made my dad like, okay, I'm gonna go too. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was a beautiful experience. Not long enough, I'll tell you that. I was out there for like 7 nights, 8 days.
Right.
Then, you know, you travel for a whole day. So, like, including the travel, too. So,
how'd you get down there? You took a flight?
Yeah, we flew down there, and then we just, like, rented a car. And
How long was the flight?
Where did we fly to? I think we literally just flew to San Fran. So, from San Fran to El Salvador was, like, 6 hours. Wasn't that bad.
Right.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But it was so pretty out there. Like, I really felt like I got to experience, like, being out there. It's so weird because it felt like you're moved, you know. There's no words, all feels.
Straight
and
up.
I got to see, like, where my dad grew up, you know. He, like, took me around, like, beaches he had gone to, like, restaurants he'd go to, you know, ports and whatnot that all these goods would come in through that he worked at. And that was really cool to see. And then we went to San Salvador, so the capital, for a while, a couple days there. And then I felt like I was in America again. So that shit was crazy.
Right.
Yeah. But it was super tropical, obviously.
Yeah.
My skin loves the humidity. So I was so happy to be out there.
Yeah.
Like, it was beautiful.
Did you like feel connected to the land in a way that like you couldn't explain, or like was there like a significance to just being there versus being here?
Yeah, I think in like our hometown, I definitely felt like, just like I said, like moved, you know?
Right.
I would love to move out there when, I don't know, for a little bit, or like at least have property out there so I could go whenever I want, you know? Right. Different than here, it's hard because it's like, this is my home, so I feel, you know, so comfy here, which is why I know I got to get the fuck out.
Right.
Because, you know, it's too comfortable here. But I'd say there's definitely a connection just knowing like, wow, I'm really like exactly where I'm from right now, you know, my family. So it's beautiful to experience that.
You know, we were talking about how we always make it about us, make it about me. So let me make it about me real quick.
Please
so I'm adopted.
Okay.
Don't know my parents. Never met my biological mom.
Yeah.
No one knows who my biological dad is. So like sometimes it's like a fucked up thing in my like heart where it's like I don't know where the fuck I can't look at someone and be like that's where I'm from. You know what I mean? I can't be like, you know, like you're like I'm from there. Like that's fucking dope. And it's like I don't know, I feel like some people might take that for granted.
I agree. Yeah, 100%. I feel like I've been connecting with a lot of people who are adopted or just been hearing about it or maybe I've been more open to it. So it's crazy you tell me that because I think you've told me that before.
Yeah, I'm sure I have.
Yeah, but I've been thinking about that a lot and I feel for you because like you are always going to have that, you know, that sense of like low-key identity crisis, correct me if I'm wrong, but like you said, it's just like you don't know, especially not knowing like where you're from, you know, or like what exactly is my ethnicity or this and that, you know, where are my roots at? And like I feel for that 100% because like I take a lot of pride in being Latina and like my family and everything like that. So
I mean, I'm fucking white, for sure.
You're probably like German.
I'm like Irish. Like I did, like, you know, like I caught a case, whatever. So the state already had my DNA. So I was like, you know, it's cool. I'll do a little DNA test, you know, whatever. Yeah. And it's like, you're like European or some shit. So I'm like, well, that's probably the Irish mate or whatever, however they talk, you know?
Yeah.
And, but fuck all that. So like back to El Salvador though. So how was the food?
Oh, it was fucking good, dude. Like, honestly, everyone's like, where was the best pupusa that you had, blah, blah, blah. Everywhere I ate was delicious. I mean, there's no question about that. And
what did you eat? What was like the best dish you had?
So we went, I don't even know where we were. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. But one of my cousins down there took us to like this fair they were having. It was really cool. And they were pupusas. They were like, probably just revuelta because that's what I always get. But no, I made sure I ate pupusas everywhere I went because I'm obsessed with them out here. I'm always trying to find the best spot. Yeah. But definitely that place. And then they had like fresh juices.
What kind of juices?
Like carrot juice. I love carrot juice.
No way.
Yeah. So I had some of that. So they had like all this fresh juice because you could go some places. They're like, you know, this is pineapple or cantaloupe, and like it's not. It's just hella sugar in there. You know, it's not like always fresh, obviously. Right. So that was a really good spot because I felt like everything, like they were making everything right there. It was pretty bomb. We had some seafood that was delicious. I had the best ceviche I've ever had in my life. So we went to a playa out there and I think I had like 3 bowls of it just because the taste was so different. I can't even explain to you. Like it does not taste like ceviche over here. I don't know what they put in that shit, but it was bomb.
My homie's mom, she fucking would make something, bro. I'm like, this shit is insane.
Yeah.
You ever just like I had a meal like that recently where it was like a game changer. Yeah. I was like, yo, me and my homie went to this sushi spot. And we're like foodies together, right? Like, it's my food homie. You know him.
Yeah.
You know.
I know. I want to come on one of those adventures one day because I love to eat.
Straight up. So
like this is why I will never have a flat stomach. You'll never catch me like on a diet. Fuck no.
Nice. Yeah, we had like this, like it was like a fucking we both were like, we took a bite of this like scallop thing. It was like a fried scallop thing.
Yeah.
And we're like,
this is bomb.
we're like, what the fuck? And then like they brought the rolls out. We were like, pfft. And like he like eats like he's like the only person I've seen that like eats faster than me. That I peeped, I was like, damn, this motherfucker eats.
Like, what the fuck is
fast
happening?
too.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, yo, I thought I ate fast. This fool's like, pfft. I'm like, damn, bro, I still got like half my shit.
I eat pretty slow, but like I will finish all of my food. I might even like I typically take like a nice little intermission. I'm like, I will be back for this. But yeah, you got to.
What I realized is like you gotta believe in yourself way more than anyone else, way before anyone else. To like, if you really want to like do what you want or whatever, it's gotta be like, I think your boy Russ said it, where he's like, you gotta be a little.
You already knew I was thinking about Russ. I was like,
right. I think it was I might have got like something like that idea from that book, where it's like you gotta be a little delusional to think that you're gonna achieve this level of greatness you think you can achieve.
Yeah.
But it's like, but everyone was a regular motherfucker at some point.
Exactly.
That wasn't who they were.
Yeah.
Like, motherfucker called me a legend today. He's like, you're a legend. I'm like, no. Like, that's you, bro. Like, he was just, bro, this dude, shout out K-Riz, by the way. The homie Riz, check him out. He's fucking sick. He was just in fucking at Bob Marley's studio in Jamaica. And he's like, you're a legend. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. No. Like, that's you, bro.
Yeah.
But he's like, oh, he's in Nashville. He's like, he had like a dope ass fucking show, like a concert, like with.
Oh my gosh, how amazing!
Like they made like giant letters for him that spelled his name, Rizz.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, this motherfucker.
I heard of him.
You probably fucking have. He's like, he be on the radio out here, like he be on like
so
he be doing
sick.
interviews with like Alice 96 or some shit.
Yeah.
He's really really dope. But
yeah. But it's true, you do. You know, I think that's what keeps a lot of people from actually, you know, going after what they want to do, because it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable as fuck to step out of, you know, what the normal is for you.
Right.
Like even, you know, being here with you today, like there's so many things, like we talked about this for so long. I mean, it definitely takes time, you know, to get there.
How am I doing this before you're doing this? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I didn't want to do this shit. You know what I mean?
You're like, this just fell into my lap. But yeah, I think I know so many talented people. Like I would say, especially out here, like, bruh, we got a lot of people out here who are trying to make moves and do stuff. But are they making the moves is the question,
right?
You know, and I'm not questioning anyone's. Like I am, I guess I am. Let me not go back.
Low key, we are. Yeah, are you fucking doing this shit, bro?
I'm calling you out, bitch.
You doing this shit like the wig, bro? Fuck, like, I didn't want to do this shit. Go ahead.
But it's true, you know, like that's what I think it is. I mean, for me, that's what I would say. You know, it took me so long to make a lot of decisions that I've made today, you know, and just with the yoga, like I knew for a while, like this is passion, this is what I want to do. But it was like, oh, where am I going to get my training? Like, but what, like, you know, where the money, like the time. And it's like, well, if it's a priority for you, if it's something you actually want to do, like you're going to figure it the fuck out. Yeah. You know, and not get stuck in this, like, this constant, I don't know, 9 to 5 and your excuses and blah, blah, blah. Like you said, like a lot of people start, you know, with nothing. And it's like, you have to work with exactly that. And then afterwards, like, you know, once you get the ball rolling, it's like, you're not going to stop. Yeah.
So coming off of that, this ain't fucking my idea of optimal at all. Yeah. I want dope ass cameras. We're doing this shit off of fucking phones and a fucking GoPro. And my homie brought the lighting, but like motherfuckers, they're like, yo, that shit's ill or whatever. So it's like, you work with what you got, you know what I'm saying? And you flip it. So like, I never thought, and nor did I just wanted to fucking rap. I didn't want to fucking be the engineer, be the mastering dude, be the cover art, be the fucking, video editor, be the fucking this, be the that, and learn all this shit. But it's crazy how one passion can lead you into a whole variety of them because it's required of the passion that you have. The original passion is requiring you to learn this other shit because you're sick of waiting for these motherfuckers.
Yeah, and that's a big thing too. Like, I feel like I've waited a lot, you know, when like wanting to record, wanting to have like, my own podcast and whatnot. I still don't because I'm fucking lazy. I haven't put in the work. I haven't even tried, you know, if I'm going to be completely frank with myself. And it's like, I just want to show up and, oh, we're ready to go, you know, but I'm like, wait, but I want to own that shit. Like, I want that to be all mine. Yeah. So if that's what I want, like, then
Gotta figure it
I gotta
out.
put in the work. Yeah, you gotta figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, because I want to be like the mastermind, right? I'm trying to be the star, and I'm trying to get like the rewards too.
Right.
So it's like,
Right.
you know, you really just got to think about it that way. Just how hungry are you? I think that's a big one too. You know, if you're comfortable and you're good like that, you're going to stay like that. And there is nothing wrong, you know, if that's what you want to do.
Totally.
But I think like what gets to me is like the wasted potential. And I've told you this one, the wasted potential causes pain, you know?
Totally.
And
Regret.
there's so many people that I know that just like, they don't do what they're capable of, you know, myself included. So
yeah, so you know I've tried. I dropped a song in 2020 every week. I fucking did. I was posting like every day a new fucking video every day for like 3, 4, 5, 6 months, right, Albie?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you that I still wasn't trying. Like really trying. Now I'm really trying.
Yeah.
Now I'm really trying. Old as fuck. But it's like the mindset. You know what I'm saying?
Kidding.
What'd you say?
Hella old.
No, hella old for sure. You know? But like everything happens due time, whatever. But it's just
Divine
like I don't
timing,
know.
you have to trust that for sure. Here's the thing. Whether we don't move out of this studio, we stay here, or, you know, we grow and we take it to the mansion, whatever it may be. Like, the whole point is that you're doing what you love to do. And I think that's what the most important thing is, you know, really finding that passion. Like, what's going to make you be the greatest human? And that's going to be like doing what you love, being happy with what you do every day, you know?
Right.
That's just like them thoughts. Like, if I want to be over here, I wish I was doing this, but then you're talking about something else and you're doing something else. Like, how are you going to be happy, you know?
Right.
So.
And I think when, like, I've been experiencing a little bit of this shit is kind of all consuming. So I do spend time with my family. I do go get my kids every day. I do hang out with them all the time. They're over here. I'm working on shit. But there is a certain level of, I wouldn't, maybe it's loneliness or whatever, but like I fucking flourish on my own.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm by myself, I fucking flourish, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm in my zone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You might not ever see me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But I feel like a lot of people like will flourish when they focus on themselves, but we don't.
Right.
Instead, we focus on like every other thing possible.
Right.
You know, and that's what keeps you from like stepping into that, like, damn, like it's uncomfortable to be alone. Hell yeah. You know, that's a big lesson that I've learned too over the past year. But it's like, once you're finally like, damn, this is nice. Like, you know, like you actually crave that space. You know, you're not trying to be with other people all the time, because, you know, the only time I can really get shit done is when I'm like focusing, when I'm locked in, when I'm in the zone, you know? Yeah. And that's with myself, with nobody else.
Yeah, and I have like, it's just like unlimited work. Like I don't see an end to the work ever.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, okay, now that I'm kind of really doing it, really trying, and I'm putting in max effort, like I really for the first time feel like I'm putting in max effort.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, there's so much shit to do forever.
Yeah, no, it doesn't
and
stop.
it's only going to get worse. So I'm like, I'm thinking about like taking on clients and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shit, bro, that's going to be a whole
How
other
much
thing.
more, yeah. It's like everything you're doing, but now instead of just doing it for yourself, you're going to be doing it, you know,
I feel like it'll
too.
low-key be easier for someone else.
Yeah.
Like with like mixes and stuff, a lot of times I feel like it's like easier to do someone else's shit because I'm not so attached to it.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, this shit fucking sucks, bro. I know it sucks, dude.
That's very true.
You know?
Yeah. Removing yourself from like being that center, like you said, the attachment. Yeah, it's a lot easier. I agree with that 100%. We're going to be our biggest critics like always, so.
Yeah. And like, you know, consistency is key to that shit. So like we were saying, like, do that shit every day, even if it's for a little bit. A little bit every day is better than 4 hours on the weekend or 6 hours every 3 weeks.
That's a good point. I'm like over here rethinking my schedule and stuff because I feel like that's what I do. I'm like, let me save this for, you know, my next day off. And then that day comes.
Like when
I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right. So like when I noticed a huge level up, like an exponential level up in my rap skills and my engineering and all that shit was when I was doing it every day. I was like, I got to do this every day because people are passing me up that aren't as good as me. You know what I'm saying? Well, and then that's all subjective, but it's like this motherfucker can't rap as good as me, or shit, maybe he can rap better than me because look at he's making traction.
Bruh, there's people that can do everything that we're doing 100 times better, but the difference between you and that person is that consistency and that discipline. And that's where I'm like, that's what I'm working on is the consistency, the discipline. Like, if you can lock those in, like, you can do whatever the fuck you want, you know?
Yeah. And I think that consistency, it's so rewarding and it really leads to like your growth, and it can grow. It'll like grow your self-love as well.
Yeah.
Like when you can see, when you have like a tangible thing that you can like when I was doing the 2020 drop every week, it was so dope to like go to my Spotify and be like, look at all these releases, bitch.
Yeah.
You know
it
what I mean?
feels
Like,
good. And it's so
really
important to like, to praise yourself for that. You know what I mean? Like to give yourself that kudos. Cause I think you can get to a point as well where you're like, all right, what's next? You know, what's next? And you have to sit there and like, you have to celebrate those milestones, you know, big or small. That's why I'm determined this year to do like a look back and be like, okay, cool, you know, because sometimes I'm like, what the fuck have I done this year? Like, what am I doing with my life? Actually, that's like every day.
Yeah.
But you know, when you like, when you really sit there and you're just like, okay, well, I completed this and I've done X, Y, Z on my list. Like, that's why writing shit down is a good idea. Like checking things off your list, you know, like that's super important for you to recognize too.
Totally. And like me, I'm like a master procrastinator.
Oh,
I will like.
I don't know. I think I got you on that.
maybe you might be right. But like I'm a black belt with that shit too.
Yeah.
You know, like game recognized game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like I just like how you're saying doing a look back or whatever. So this year I'm doing like a video thing. Haven't even started it, but I know what I want to do.
Yeah.
But I'm fucking lagging. Like I should already been doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just gonna be like a fucking type thing, like, and they'll have one of those audios like, "Yep, you don't see me." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like I'm super like procrastinating on it. But like, I have more
are you
pressing
doing
things.
like a montage of your
Type shit,
of 2023? That's cool. I like that.
I was looking at like some when we shot food and stuff like that. Shout out Richie, shout out JT, shout out Idle Hands, shout out motherfucking Lolly who pulled up. You know what I'm saying? Shout out motherfucking Albie, the shooter. You know what I'm saying? But food was great. Food was such a good time. It was like
it looked like a lot of fun.
it was, man. You should have pulled up.
I don't know why I didn't. I don't know.
I don't know. We might not have been cool.
Let me check the receipts. There was a chunk there where we got nothing.
It'd be like that sometimes.
It's like March and then it's like, oh, November, like.
Bruh, yo.
But that's how fast time goes. I think that's
really
why it's
does.
super important too to like really prioritize. And I think it comes with, you know, age and experience and all of that, I think, for you to finally be like, okay, I need to sit the fuck down and like really think about like what I'm doing, what my next move is. Because I don't know, ever since I had turned 25, like time just fucking goes, dude. Like it is something else.
I heard a theory. So for me, time just goes faster and faster. Like, and every time it's Friday, I'm like, oh goddamn. Or every time it's Monday, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
And it's like, so someone said, I don't know where I got it, but it was like, the older you get, the less like fraction of your life a year is or whatever. So like when you're a kid, a year is 1/10 of your life. But when you're fucking 40, it's 1/40th.
Oh, that's so crazy.
So it just goes by faster because you've fucking gone through so many of them.
My God, you know that meme with all the like math problems circling around someone's head?
Oh, right.
That's me. I'm like, oh fuck.
Right? Yeah, dude, like yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's super crazy.
It's crazy, but it's beautiful.
Bonita Loca, what's good?
Oh my God, I could talk to you all day. This is insane. It was interesting. Like, I was raised by my single mom. You know, my dad was like in my life, but we never lived in the same household. So
Really?
I thank my mom for everything, honestly. Like, I had a very good upbringing because of her. Never knew that we were struggling ever.
Right.
She took really good care of us. So It was good. I grew up very religious,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm grateful for that as well because it created a good foundation for my spirituality.
What religion?
Jehovah's Witness. Yeah.
No birthdays for you.
So, yeah, which I get a lot of shit for that. A lot of time people are like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, honestly, it was a great time. Yeah. Like, I'm
You're
like,
I'm not complaining.
we had like parties all the time there because we didn't celebrate all these holidays. And now being older, I could give a shit less. Like the only,
Right.
like about holidays,
Yeah. Me
what
too.
I do love is New Year's and my birthday. And
Right.
like, I'll go all out, but everything else, I'm like, I'm chilling. Like, I don't really care. So anyways, that was a big part of my upbringing. And then, and then it was just my mom and I when I was like in my teen years and stuff. And we grew very close, which I'm also thankful for.
You said very religious. So like, does that mean you're going like 3 times a week?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I had hella dresses. We'd go preach and whatnot.
Did you ever like go 8 a.m.? Like,
yeah.
really?
Yes.
That's
like I'm telling you, it was all out. Yeah.
Have you, what was the shit? Do you know, like, remember what you would say?
No, I don't think I was just like there.
You were just there.
I was just there looking cute.
Like,
yeah,
okay,
I was
Mom.
like, hey.
Did you guys ever get anybody?
Huh?
Did you ever like recruit anybody?
Oh yeah, like
Really?
tons of people did Bible studies all the time and whatnot. So we got super close to people. They'd invite us to like their family parties and they'd feed us. Like very very kind. And I think it's a beautiful thing because for me, when it comes to religion, like I don't believe in religion. I believe in God, and I respect whatever that is to other people. But it was like looking back and thinking about it now as an adult, like some of these people were like their last straw, like meeting my mom or that interaction, not necessarily like my mom, but being able to make that connection with God or, the Bible, whatever it may be, like that was their outlet. Like they needed that at the time, so.
Right. Yeah, I don't believe in religion either, but I also see the value in it that people can, it like can give them like a reason to do good, or it has like a community level to it where
exactly.
It can be very positive for the right person.
Yeah.
But I was watching this other podcast. It was a Pack City podcast. Shout out Neto and all them, Richie and all them. Homie was like, yo, that when you start saying like, yo, my religion better than yours, they're like, that's like gangbanging.
Oh my God.
Like,
Relax.
yo, fuck you, bro. Like
well,
that.
we all know, how crazy religion can make the world. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's why we're not talking
about
the world.
Crazy beautiful, right? That's
just crazy.
That's just some bullshit, right?
Yeah.
So, I think me and you kind of on the same tip this year as well. Like with like, if you're comfortable talking about it, but like being sober.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm not completely like sober. I like to socially drink and whatnot. Last summer was a good one for me. Didn't drink whatsoever. And I think I did like 90 days.
Nice.
And it was good, when you think about it, like, damn, I've been drinking like, since I was 21. And you think about it, you're like, well, how old am I now? And it's like, people like need to take the break from that, and I think being in like a 24-hour city, partying all the time, like, it's not something that's going to keep you going. It's not sustainable, and it's like when you realize you can have a good ass time, like sober, I think that's a turning point,
Yeah. So did you experience a turning point where you were like, you know what? This shit ain't for me no more.
Yeah, I think when you're to the point where it's like, what, every weekend I'm just going out, like for what? Like, what is this feeding my soul?
Right.
It's not.
Yeah, and like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like when we're hanging out, like, are we like, cause like we get high and shit, whatever. Yeah, we're gonna fucking start the best business ever, and we're gonna do this, that, and the other thing, and then nothing ever fucking comes of it.
Nothing ever comes of it. A lot of like conversations of just being intoxicated. I want to do this, I want to do that, and having all of these great ideas, but it's like, well, then maybe instead of us partying next week, we should actually get some shit done. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it just came to a point like, I would probably say like 2020. Towards the end of that year, or maybe even 2021, I was just kind of like, this is getting so old, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just like the people I was hanging out with, it was like the same thing all the time. And like you said, you know, you're a creature of habit and your environment, you know? And so it's not easy when you realize like, okay, I need to like either pull away or just like not partake, you know? And
did you have an issue with like stopping? Was it like hard for you to stop?
No. I think what's hard is when you like tell people like, oh no, like I'm not drinking or like no thanks, you know, because then people are just like, oh, like why not? Or they think like they automatically assume you have a problem. And it's like, no, I just like don't want to drink. You know what I mean? Like I actually am like fine being sober. So it's kind of like having to explain yourself because I don't like explaining myself if I don't have to. You know, I'm just like
never explain myself to no one.
You know, but when you're out here like belligerent drinking so much, like you don't have people asking you then like, are you okay? Right. You know what I mean? So that was an interesting take, like to see how people would react in regards to like, oh, why not? Like what happened? Like what's wrong? And it's like, bitch, literally nothing. I'm out here living my best life right now, actually, you know?
Right. Yeah, for me, I had a problem stopping. Like, I was trying to stop for getting high for like at least 2 years.
Yeah.
Where I was like, I just like I think honestly it was like that 2020 run. I was using my music as like a reason to be away and like isolate and use. And, you know, it sucks and shit. What's done is done. Can't go back. I'm just trying to move forward.
Yeah,
because you can't like. And, you know, I've had some stumbles along the way. You know what I'm saying? I've only been clean like a month now or something.
Yeah.
Maybe 5 weeks now.
But you've done time in between where you're sober too, you know?
Right. It was just like with this specific thing, it was kind of like I would joke around. You ever seen The Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, but I don't know about
well, like, you know Gollum, right? Where he's like, precious.
Yes.
Like, I was like holding the bag. I'm like, precious, like just playing. And I'm like, this isn't fucking good, bro. Yeah, like, you shouldn't even joke around. And I'm like, man, precious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, chill out. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I'm a lot better now. And what sucks, though, is like with the people close to me, it's like I've heard them so much that like they can't, they like don't believe me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or like they're like, yeah, well, they're gonna keep bringing up the fucking times where you're fucking up, and that's all you are.
I've witnessed that a lot too with friends or family who are like, you know, trying to move forward from their mistakes, but it's like anytime they step out of line or whatever it may be, it's like it sucks because it typically is like the people closest to you who are just like, what the fuck are you doing? But no one like wants to applaud you when you're like not fucked up, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's what's hard, and you shouldn't be doing it for anybody else. It should definitely come from, you know, your own decisions
you have
and choices.
to do it. You have to do it for yourself.
Yeah. Or you're not doing it.
Even like my homie was telling me, Albie, you were like, remember I asked you, I'm like, what got you sober? You're like, well, it wasn't the fucking kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As much as that sucks or whatever, like I love my children.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that like obviously it wasn't that fucking.
I think that's a rule of thumb for like anything. You got to be doing it for yourself, you know, or else like there's no point.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But I love that because it was really exciting for you to ask me to be on here, and you're like, what do you want to drink like coffee or something? And I'm like, fuck yes. Like I love coffee. Like this isn't something I'd want to do like under the influence, you know, especially respecting like your time and the energy and effort. Like the thing is when you're doing something you're passionate about, like, I mean, in my head, like I would never want to show up like half-assed because I do not think we're our best selves when we're under the influence whatsoever, you know?
Facts. Like I was really wanting to, I feel so good now, you know what I'm saying? But like before I was like, fuck dude, I kind of want to smoke just because I was like kind of stressed out and stuff, you know? But,
I was a little nervous too, and I was like, fuck, I should like take a shot. And it's,
oh damn,
when you get through it, it's so nice when you're like, damn, I'm like so happy, you know, that I didn't need like any outside factors.
Dude, speaking of that, so like I'll have like urges or whatever, or like, I guess yeah, we'll just call them urges.
Right.
Where I'm like, I want to go fucking have a good time.
Yeah.
And it's like, it'll happen at like the dumbest times. I'm like trying to go to sleep, can't sleep for like 10 minutes. And I'm like,
Fuck it.
guess I can't sleep.
Yeah.
Let's go fucking stay out for 3 days.
You're like, if I don't fall asleep in 5.2 seconds,
Yeah.
I'm doing something else.
But every time I like go to sleep, I wake up, I'm like, oh, thank God. Like, I'm like relieved that I didn't fucking, because I'm going to go fuck off for fucking, and it's just not good for me, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think it's good for anyone, really.
I think it's just like so great you're in a place where you recognize, like, I want to do this for me. You know, we've had a few phone calls where you're just like, no, like, I am so far from like trying to please anybody or doing this and that. And like, I'm doing this for me. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, that's been a huge lesson for me this year, is being able to realize, like, not realize, because I've known for a while you got to take care of yourself before you can others, but like actually doing it and being able to, you know, be at the forefront of my own mind, not to be self-centered at all. It's just recognizing that, like, if I'm not okay, like, no one around me is going to be okay.
Right.
So
you're the priority.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else could we talk about here? So you always wanted to do a podcast.
Yes. I've had my Crazy Beautiful page for like, I think 2 years now.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
You got any posts?
No. That's my creep page. No. No, that algorithm on that page is so beautiful. It's like yoga and traveling and like good food, which is literally me. So I'm like, this is perfect.
That's awesome. So is there like a time when, so like, have you thought, you said you haven't really thought about it though.
I'm sorry, I thought about what?
Your podcast.
Yeah. Okay. So we were kind of talking about this the other day. So yeah, I was thinking, like, why haven't I done this? You know, if this is something I want to do so badly, like, what's going on? And I thought about it, and I'm like, well, you must not want to do it that bad, you know? And I think that I really started to think about my priorities and what I wanted to do and what I could accomplish, like, sooner than later. And it kind of, I think it was just like daunting thinking about like everything that I had to do, because like I told you, right, I wanted to be like, I want to be the talent and I want to be doing everything else, you know, be all up in the production and stuff. But like when I started to look into it, I was like, holy shit, like this is a lot, you know? Yeah. So, I think that's why I like backed off of it, you know? And I even thought about hitting you up like multiple times for help, but I was like, you can't do that until you actually try, you know? But I can make all the excuses in the world. I think ultimately my priorities changed. And yeah, so, and being able to recognize that was like such a relief. Just because I'd be pissed off all the time, like, I'm not doing anything I really want to do, like, you know, I read some Denzel Washington quote, and he said something like, he's like, think about your deathbed and like, how does it go? Imagine if like all the ghosts of the I should have done this, like visited you, you know, all the ideas that you had that never came to fruition. Right. And so like after that occurred to me, I was like, okay, like I really started thinking about the things I wanted to do and where my priorities lie and whatnot. I still want to do it. I just I need to pull the trigger. It's not the priority. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
I think that's awesome. I think like I said, like the thing, your passion is yoga, and I'm like, you know, I already told you, like you need to do a podcast with that. Yeah. You know? Just
yeah.
It's just like that'll open doors.
And that's the big thing too. Like I'm not just gonna start something just to spit and have nothing of value to present to the table. Right. You know, there's a lot of thought that I put into the things that I do just because, you know, I don't want to release bullshit. So, So with that being said, you know, there's just like, that has kept me from it too. I'm like, I want to make sure like there's always a takeaway, you know, just because I listen to a lot of podcasts and there is a lot of bullshit out there, and I'm just like, damn. And that's where I'm like, if they could do it, I could do it, you know. But it's like, oh, but they're doing it, you know. Right. So anyway, but my whole point being, like, I definitely want there to be value there, and like deciding like how and what I'm gonna do and whatnot is a big one for me.
Right, and maybe that kind of talks about, we were maybe talking about balance. So like the balance in life and So you got to know, how do you know when you're doing too much or not enough? Do you know?
Yeah, constantly. So talking about that balance, like I'm either all the way left or all the way right. And it's just when like I get to a point where I'm like, oh my gosh, like I cannot handle any of this. Like I know I'm lacking in doing something else, you know, whether that be like my self-care, like balancing like the family time, the friend time, the me time, like my work, you know, whatever it may be. But that's what I'm trying to learn right now, is knowing when I'm giving my all and when I'm not, because I think I'm very like one end of the spectrum. There's no in between for
You're
me.
either like, I'm all the way here or I'm fucking gone.
Today I was literally like, why am I doing the fucking most right now?
Right.
You know, I just felt like I was running around like doing all these errands and blah, 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 and like trying to do it all in one day. And I'm like, maybe I should spread this out a little bit, you know? And like you were saying, like, same thing when I'm trying to prepare for a class that's coming up, like, I can do that all in 4 hours, you know? I can go in and I can wing it, but it's like the class is not going to be everything that I want it to be. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So I am trying to find that balance right now of like, okay, like know when you need to give a little bit more.
Yeah, totally. And know when you're doing too much, you know, when you're like...
Today I was doing too much.
Right. Here's my thing though. It's like, I'll always try to put more on the plate than I know I can. Say I'm with Albie for 4 hours.
Yeah.
I'm putting 6 hours of shit, 8 hours.
Yeah.
Just because I know that it's shit just in case. That shit, we in a zone, bro.
Yeah,
Let's get as much as we can possible. You know what I'm saying? Like, so... I feel that 100%, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's going to be like, you know, something that you work on, I feel like, throughout your life forever.
Right.
Like, not necessarily like I'm always going to be struggling with this same issue, but everything we've been discussing today, like the consistency, the discipline, the growth.
Discipline, bro. Oh my God.
Like, it's not that life is going to get easier and you're going to have less to balance, and you're going to
hold on. We were playing the song game.
Yes.
You just said that right now, so it reminded me of, it just reminded me of the Slug bar. Slug says, you know Slug?
No.
Atmosphere?
Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
The dude from Atmosphere.
Yeah.
He's all, I thought it was supposed to get easier when you worked harder. And I was like, yo, that's a motherfucking bar, bro.
No, like, that's the thing. You just learn... You learn how to adapt. You get better. You know, that's what I mean. And I'm like, I'm just trying to be the best person I can be. It's like, that's exactly it. Like, you learn how to work with these bumps in the road. My sister told me, she was like, I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I'm just like on an uphill right now, blah, blah, blah. She's like, well, them hills and them bumps in the road, they don't go away. You know, she's like, you just learn how to drive better. And I'm like, okay, perfect. And that applies with like so many different things, you know. And
shout out Christabel.
Exactly.
What do you call? What do you call her?
I call her Chrissa.
Chrissa.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it depends. I don't know.
I just remember I called her Chris one time. She's like, Chris.
Don't call me that.
The fuck?
Yeah. No, we don't use that.
Get the, you know. No, I fuck with your sister tough.
Yeah, this is good. Like, I feel like we've been talking a lot about, you know, our personal growth and consistency and, you know, your goals and everything like that. You're someone to me who's always been able to, like, you talk about something and then, like, the next week I'm like, oh, he's doing it, you know?
Shit, it took a long time to get that way.
It does. So my question for you, though, is, like, how do you execute a goal, or, you know, like, quick tips for people who don't really have an idea, like, or have all these ideas but don't know how to get there, you know?
So I used to hate when people would say this, but fucking writing that shit down and mapping it out, planning, organizing, that shit is fucking crucial. Yeah. Like, there's no way, like, just like, for instance, like setting this podcast up. I told him, I want this lighting. I want this camera angles. I want this, like, you think about the shit before you execute it. And then you go execute it and you be like, okay, that sucked. Let's try again. And then you'll do it better the next time. And you'll do it. You fail forward. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Failure is the foundation of success. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just a matter of, if you don't have any clue what to do, try to educate yourself about what you want to do. What does it take? and, do it. Like figure out, and everyone's different.
Yeah.
Maybe my way ain't gonna work for you.
Exactly.
But figure out your way. And you have to dedicate, I think, time daily to getting what you want to get done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think, is that good?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would say number one, writing it down, getting these things out of your head onto paper, educating yourself about it, mapping it out, and then do.
Yeah, like I started with this new, when I dropped all the new content or whatever, I started with map it out Mondays, tune it up Tuesday, work it Wednesday, shit like that, so that it's easy to remember. I know what I'm doing. I haven't looked at that thing in weeks, but I'm still I have it's just I'm kind of on autopilot in certain ways where I know what I need to do. And I'm in a sober mind state so I can wrap my head around it and I know it needs to get done, when it needs to get done by. I'm not for the first time, I'm not super rushing all the time to get this shit done. I kind of have I was showing you, I had a week.
Yeah, that was huge. I even just started using my calendar in my phone, and that's a game changer because I am a yes ma'am. I'm yep, okay, I'll be there. I'll see you there, yada yada. I agree to everything. Right. And that's when I'm oh my gosh, I can't do all of this. So even just that, seeing it, you have to see it all on paper,
Yeah, and I'm a visual motherfucker anyway. So for me to see it, I'm it's almost it's real. And just even doing collages or vision boards of what you're trying to achieve, even if it's just inspirational shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It just helps a lot when you can see it. And then here's the thing. You're going to probably want a team at some point. Yeah. So it's good to work on the translation so that you can show it to someone else.
That's very true. I was going to say as well, if still, even then getting something on paper, you're still struggling to see it, but you want to get this done, you have to welcome those type of people in your life who okay, for example, me with Big Wig, I'm over here I know if I present an idea to this fool, he's going to help me see it through. So finding those people who are in your corner as well, if it's that overwhelming to go through it on your own, because it can be it has been before for me too.
Right. And it's sometimes it's hard to find those people too.
Yeah. But once you change that mindset, and that's why I said welcome these people into your life, because you literally that may be something you need to do, pray to the universe, whatever it is, bring these people to me who are going to help me be the best that I can be in the highest and the best way. Right.
I forgot, I heard a rap today and it was I changed my frequency and now I think it was Nipsey. I start living at a higher frequency. Now I'm seeing fucking Bill, whatever.
Yeah, no, but Nipsey, literally change your vibration and the things around you are going to change.
Straight up. That's crazy, right? Shit, we're just a bunch of tiny little things.
Yeah, I mean, we're all energy, exactly. So,
shit crazy. But yeah. Did you want to keep going on that?
I think that's good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so you ever watch, probably not young ass, but you ever watch the actor's studio, Inside the Actor's Studio, James Lipton?
No.
He has these 10 questions he would ask every guest.
Okay.
And I bit his style, I'm asking the same 10 questions.
Let's go.
And so here we go.
Run it.
Bonita Loca.
Oh my gosh.
Bonita Loca. What is your favorite word?
This would probably have to be more of a phrase.
Okay.
But
no, it has to be a word.
I think my favorite is de nada in Spanish. You're
nice.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Even in English,
I know
it's beautiful,
that one.
But it's easy. It's just de nada literally means of nothing. So when you're thanking someone and they're just
it's nothing.
It's nothing. It's beautiful. It's almost it's not even necessary to say thank you, Right. It always is. So use your manners, please. Please.
I guess they used to never, that wasn't a word for a long time.
Really?
You're welcome. I guess it wasn't in a lot of ancient cultures.
Yeah,
they
say. Okay, I get what you're saying. You know what I mean? But even in English, you're welcome, it's just you're welcome to whatever it is that I did for you that you're now thanking for. So I think that's really nice.
Right. What is your least favorite word?
My least favorite word? Probably all the fillers that I use. The
Oh, bruh, I got this.
Yeah, literally.
I got this clip where I say like 18 times in like a minute, and I'm like,
yeah, I'm about to just like read a fucking dictionary because sometimes I don't have the words, and I'm like, all right, we got to work on this throat chakra right here. What's going on?
Let's do this vocab.
Lack thereof words is my least favorite thing.
That's your least favorite word.
Yeah,
is when you don't have them.
When I don't have a word, when I'm speechless.
That's a cool answer.
Unless it's in a positive way.
What turns you on?
Like turns me on like sexually.
If that's how you feel.
What gets me going? This is a hard one. I don't know. No, it's not hard. I'm just like now my mind's going everywhere.
It's hard.
What turns me on is let's see. I'll keep it PG here. I just think like people like being confident in themselves, like actually like knowing who they are and like loving that. That's a huge turn on. And what gets me going is yoga.
Fire, that's great. That's great. What turns you off?
Oh my God. Like people just being like on the opposite side of being confident, just being like cocky as fuck. People like show offs. I just can't. Like I don't care like how much money you have. Like I don't care like how much you want to spend and stuff. Like that's just not for me. Nice. Yeah.
Right. I fuck with that answer for sure. What sound or noise do you love?
Macaroni in a pot. Yeah, that's a good sound. I like that. Yeah, aside from like, music.
Nice. I love it. What sound do you hate?
Literally like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah.
I hate any screeching sounds, like chairs being pulled, like, dragged. Like pick that shit up, man. Yeah. Probably that.
It's all right. It's fun when you hear a laugh in the background. You're like, who's there? Bonita loca. What's your favorite curse word?
Fuck. For sure. Fuck, yeah. Bitch. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Fuck, bitch.
And bitch.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Probably something in production. I love this shit. Like nice. I'm constantly thinking about what's happening behind a camera. Like when I watch movies or listen to podcasts and everything. So this is something definitely like up my alley. I love shit like this.
Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. I might hit you up on that. Yeah. What profession would you not like to do?
My 9 to 5. Just kidding. No, I think, I just honestly, like anything that I don't want to do, anything that I feel like I have to do, which, that happens all the time. I think we all got to do stuff that we don't always want to do. But, so that's why I'm trying to keep like my career path in line with what I'm passionate about. Because I think that's the easiest way to hit burnout. Like in life in general is literally doing something you don't want to do.
Right. I feel that 100%. If heaven exists, what do you want to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would like to be greeted with, let's see. I'm just like, you made it, bitch. Literally first thing to mind.
Oh, that's fire.
I don't know. That's a good one. Yeah, I just think maybe like you did it. Like you're here, Nice. Knowing that like the life that I lived was me becoming like the highest and best version of myself ever. So probably that.
Awesome.
Something along those lines.
I loved your answers.
Thank you.
Great answers.
Those are good questions.
So where can people find you if you want them to follow you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, at xorikka. So that's XORIKKA on IG.
Nice.
So Insta's where you'll find me.
Nice. That's what's up.
Thank you. This has been lovely.
Well, it's an absolute honor and pleasure to have you as one of the first guests on Cashin Up with the wig, bro.
Let's go, big wig, baby.
Yo, hey, it's the Yo, hold up.
I love
Hey,
it.
hold up. Yo, this the whale scale big wig, all about his business. You know what I'm saying? The fat cat, aka the Reno Ace.
Hey.
This has been Cashing Up with Rikka. You know what I'm saying? We out.
Deuces.